My brother is marrying the girl who made my life hell in high school, and everyone thinks I should just get over it and go to the wedding. I refused. Now I'm the villain. AITAH? A few months ago, my older brother announced that he was getting married. It was supposed to be a happy moment. He was grinning ear to ear when he told me and the rest of our family. He seemed so excited and in love. When he mentioned the name of his fiancée, I didn't think much of it. The name didn't ring any bells. He didn't say much besides that they met through mutual work friends and hit it off. He showed me one quick photo on his phone. I nodded, smiled politely, and congratulated him. That was I. A few days later, I was scrolling through Instagram when I saw the engagement photos he posted. There she was, his future wife. And the second I saw her face, it felt like a rock dropped into my stomach. My heart started racing. I felt frozen. It was her, Danielle, the girl who made my life hell in high school. At first, I thought I had to be wrong. But the more I stared, the more the memories came flooding back. I hadn't thought about her in years, not really. But seeing her face again cracked something wide open inside me. I couldn't ignore it. I just kept thinking, how can this be happening? How can he be marrying her of all people? Danielle wasn't just a mean girl. She was cruel. I wasn't popular in high school. I was awkward, introverted, and heavier than most girls. She saw that and used it as ammunition. She used to mock my weight constantly, in front of other people. She made jokes about me being desperate and gross. Once, she spread a rumor that I had an STD. I remember hearing about it in his second period and crying in a bathroom stall during lunch. And then there was the locker incident. Someone slipped a note into my locker, supposedly from a guy I liked. It said sweet things, said he wanted to ask me out. I was ecstatic. It felt like maybe someone finally saw me. I wrote back. A few days later, Danielle and a group of her friends cornered me in the hallway and started laughing about it. The entire thing had been a prank. She read my note out loud in front of everyone. That was one of the most humiliating moments of my teenage years. Eventually, I reported her to the school principal. That was the only thing that made her stop. Not remorse, not reflection, just fear of getting in real trouble. Even then, she never apologized. She just pretended I didn't exist after that. I spent years recovering from the damage. Therapy, self-work, rebuilding my self-esteem. And now that I finally feel okay with myself again, she's suddenly back. As my brother's future wife. After I saw the photos and realized who she was, I called my brother. I didn't know how to even start the conversation, but I had to say something. I told him exactly what she did to me. I didn't even go into all the details, just enough so he would understand how badly she had hurt me. I wanted him to realize that this wasn't just a high school spat or teenage drama. She had traumatized me. He listened, but he didn't seem surprised. Turns out he already knew they had gone to the same school as me. I asked if she ever mentioned me. He said she barely remembered me, and then brushed off everything I said with the classic, "People change." I was stunned. I told him that her not remembering didn't erase what she did, that the pain was real and the scars were deep, that I couldn't possibly sit at their wedding and pretend to be happy for them when all I could see was the girl who made me feel worthless. He got defensive. He told me I was being unfair. That Danielle had changed. She had a great job in marketing, volunteers now, and even posts about mental health and empowerment on social media. I told him I'd seen her Instagram too, and it made me feel sick. Then he said I was being petty and selfish for not getting over something that happened 10 years ago, that I needed to grow up and support him. I told him I wasn't going to the wedding. I said I wouldn't make a scene, but I also wasn't going to fake a smile and celebrate someone who tormented me. He hung up on me. Things have been tense since then. My brother is furious with me. He texted me later and told me I was ruining one of the most important moments of his life because I couldn't let go of the past. He said I was making this all about me and that I needed to stop acting like a victim. It hurt. A lot. I tried to explain again that I'm not trying to sabotage anything. I'm not going around telling people what Danielle did. I'm not making drama. I just can't be there. I can't sit in that church, watch them exchange vows, and pretend like I'm proud or happy. My parents have taken a neutral stance, which I appreciate. My mom hugged me when I told her everything. She said it was my choice, and she wasn't going to pressure me either way. My dad just told me he hopes time will help us heal. But the vibe in the family group chat has changed. I can feel the distance. My brother barely talks to me now unless it's something practical about the wedding. Like if I've changed my mind about attending. I haven't. I know he wants one last olive branch. He keeps hinting that it would mean the world to him if I showed up. But I also know that showing up would cost me something I'm not willing to sacrifice, my dignity. I've been thinking about this nonstop. I keep wondering, am I really being that unreasonable? Maybe I'm holding on too tightly. Maybe I should be mature enough to say, it was high school, people change, and just show up for my brother. I mean, he's not the one who hurt me. He didn't even know what happened at the time. And I know he loves her. He sees a version of her I never got to know. But I've also worked so hard to get to where I am. I've spent years healing. I've built a life where I finally feel safe, respected, and valued. And showing up at that wedding would mean ignoring the voice inside me that says, you deserve better than this. I'm not angry anymore. I don't want revenge. I don't want Danielle to suffer or for their wedding to fall apart. I just want space. I want peace. And I want the people in my life to understand that healing isn't the same as forgetting. My brother says I'm selfish. I say I'm protecting myself. So Reddit, AITAH for refusing to go to my brother's wedding because he's marrying my high school bully? Update 1. I didn't expect to be writing an update, but so much has happened since my original post that I felt like I needed to let it out somewhere. Thank you to everyone who commented on my last post. I read every single reply, even the tough ones. A lot of people validated how I felt, and some encouraged me to at least consider confronting Danielle. I wasn't sure what I would do, but now things have escalated beyond what I expected. First off, my brother saw the post. He figured out it was me because of the details. He texted me saying, "Glad to know you're airing our family business online." I'll admit, I felt a bit guilty. That wasn't my intention. I was just trying to process everything, and Reddit felt like a safe place where I could stay anonymous. That ship has obviously sailed. After that, he stopped talking to me altogether. I tried calling to smooth things over, to explain why I posted, but he wouldn't pick up. Our parents got involved again. My mom called and said my brother was hurt and embarrassed, and that I should reach out with an apology. I told her I already tried. She didn't push me, but I could hear the disappointment in her voice. Then, out of nowhere, Danielle messaged me directly. It was surreal. She sent a long message saying she had no idea how much she had hurt me in high school. She said she remembered some things, but not all of it. She claimed she was young, insecure, and acting out. She apologized, said she was genuinely sorry, and that if she could take it back, she would. She said she didn't want me to feel excluded from the wedding, and that she hoped we could talk sometime. I was floored. I sat there staring at the screen for a long time, rereading her words over and over. I'll be honest, part of me felt like she was being sincere, but another part of me kept wondering, would she have ever said anything if I hadn't posted online? I haven't replied yet. My therapist, yes, I started going back, says I don't know her response. That this isn't about being polite, it's about protecting myself. But I'm torn, because as much as I want closure, I also feel like reopening that wound just before the wedding will only make everything worse. The wedding is in 2 weeks. I still haven't RSVP'd. My mom keeps telling me there's still time to change my mind. But now, more than ever, I feel like I don't belong there. I want to support my brother, but not like this. I'll probably update again after the wedding, whatever happens. Update 2. So the wedding happened this past weekend, and I didn't go. I know some of you were hoping for some big confrontation, or that I'd show up for family unity, but after everything that happened, I knew I couldn't force myself to be somewhere I didn't feel emotionally safe. The week leading up to the wedding was quiet. My brother didn't reach out. Danielle never followed up on her message. My mom texted me the morning before the wedding, asking, "Are you sure?" I told her yes, and that was it. Instead of going, I planned a quiet weekend for myself. I stayed off social media, turned off my phone, and went to a nature retreat a few hours away. I didn't want to see any photos. I didn't want to hear music from the reception or pretend I was fine while watching strangers toast to a couple I couldn't fully support. But when I got back on Sunday night, I had a flood of missed texts. One was from my dad, who almost never texts me. He just said, "We missed you." One was from my aunt, who said, "It wasn't the same without you, but I understand." And then there was one from my brother. It just said, "I wish you'd come." I really do. That broke me a little. He didn't lash out. He didn't blame me, but still carried that weight of sadness. I think a small part of him thought I'd show up at the last minute, and maybe a small part of me wanted to do that too. But I didn't. I couldn't. I'm not sure where things go from here. Right now, I'm giving it space. I still haven't responded to his message. I need to figure out what I even want to say. It's not that I hate him. I don't even hate Danielle anymore. But trust? That's going to take a while to rebuild. This has been one of the most emotionally exhausting experiences of my adult life. It's opened up wounds I didn't realize still hurt. But it's also reminded me that I have a right to protect my peace. I don't have to show up just because people expect me to. If he really wants a relationship again, I'm open to it. But I needed to be on honest terms. No pretending. No gaslighting. Just real conversations. Update 3. It's been almost 2 months since the wedding. I wasn't sure if I would write again, but I've had some closure recently, and I thought it might help someone else who's been through something similar. After I didn't reply to his message right after the wedding, my brother didn't push. We had no contact for a while. It felt like the silence just settled between us, both of us waiting for the other to speak first. I needed that time. I needed space to sit with my decision and not regret it. Then, last week, my brother called. I didn't recognize the number at first, but it was him. I almost didn't pick up, but I did. He sounded softer. Tired, maybe. He said, "I don't want to fight. I just want to understand." And so we talked. For almost 2 hours. I told him everything. Not just what Danielle did in high school, but how it made me feel, how long it haunted me, and why his dismissal hurt so much. I told him how hard it was to be told that my pain was teenage drama. I told him it took years to feel like I wasn't disgusting or unlovable. And he listened. He didn't interrupt. He didn't get defensive. He cried, actually, said he had no idea how deep it ran, that he thought I just didn't like her because of a few mean girl moments. He admitted he was blinded by love and didn't try hard enough to see my side. Then he said something that really stayed with me. I'm not asking you to forget. I'm just asking for a chance to rebuild. We're not magically healed, but it's a start. He invited me to dinner next week, with just him, not Danielle. He said he wants to slowly rebuild trust and find a way forward that doesn't ignore the past, but honors what we've both been through. I still don't know what kind of relationship I'll have with his wife. That's a bridge I'll cross later, if I ever do. But I'm glad I stood my ground. And I'm even more glad that, in the end, he reached back